about what I do, and that's pretty great, right?
That's right.
So, like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. I mean, if
So
we're just looking at the numbers, I mean, they're looking pretty good in terms
good.
of cost to at least get someone interested, right?
That's
And
the key.
yeah, it's been going for less than a week. I've
Hmm.
reached 100 people. I can scale that up a little bit, but next I need to do some email stuff. Like, email is really the only thing that can scale infinitely.
Hmm.
Um, LinkedIn is hard capped, really hard capped. And if you push too hard, they flag you, which is what happened to me on Saturday.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So
It's one
scaled
of those things.
I scaled back. I was like, I don't want to lose my LinkedIn account, man. That would
No.
suck. That would absolutely suck. So I didn't remove the automation tools entirely. So technically, I'm still illegal, and I guess technically this is on the air. So you know, they find me.
Seems fine.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many other people who are doing it. Like, there's a Shark Tank dude who totally sent me an automated connection request. It was like,
Yep.
hey, I saw you mentioned Atomic Habits. I have this book called Burn the Boats that I think you'll find very interesting. And it's like, all right, I appreciate like
Yeah. Thanks.
looks like an interesting book, I'll be honest. But I doubt he sent that message to me,
Yeah.
Or maybe he did. Great. Respect. I can respect that. Yeah, so I'm in a good spot. I'm feeling pretty good about what I'm doing right now.
Good. Good.
Because I'm finally seeing some impact. Like, bites, right? Some people are saying, yeah, I'm interested in that.
It just takes one, right? Like that's it. Just takes one. That's all you need. Just one at a time. And then get your next one and then get your next one. And all of a sudden you're like, I don't have any time left.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It all comes in waves, man. And it's not easy, right? It's never easy, but it all comes in waves. So
All right. So we didn't do Thursday, but we did do Monday last week. We got a pretty good spot Monday last week, if I remember right.
mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I think I had things saving locally,
Mm-hmm.
and just had to get it. I was running into some bugs in terms of loading the next bookend. I also downloaded this new IDE called Cursor.
Mm-hmm.
I think you told me about.
Mm-hmm. Sounds familiar.
Yeah. It's basically a fork of VS Code with AI tied into it. So I'm just trying it out.
I've got all sorts of like AI stuff intertwined, but I still like the one I'm using, which is Tab 9. I like Tab 9. I feel like it's been, I don't know. I like the Tab 9. It does a lot of that, and just it's always worked really nice for me. So I don't mind, and it's learned over time my style, and so it's tailored my. You can really get into these things. It's kind of cool. So I mean, I pay for it. It's very cheap, but I paid for it on like I do all my software renewals on Black Friday every year because they're like half off, and so every year around Black Friday I renew all my stuff because they're literally half off, and some of them They're like, if you buy it now, you get like 18 months free, and I'm like, okay, and then I can renew it early and get that extra. Like I've got one service that's like got 5 years, and I paid for 2 years, and I'm like, okay, that works. Like I don't have to pay for it for a couple years, so
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah. Some places will let you extend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dang. Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah,
So
why not?
I need that in my life.
Mhm.
I know the Black Friday hack.
Don't tell everyone.
Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Says I'm here on stream.
Yeah. Don't listen to me.
Tell everybody. All right, so I'm launching this. Launching the app. Let's see. So, I mean, the two tasks that I still have here are add ability to continue, so finish a bookend, and add support for different question types. I think one of the issues I was running into is that it was inadvertently marking bookends as complete when it shouldn't have been. I think I need to create some unit tests to just make sure that my is complete checker is actually working as intended, so I can stop kind of shooting in the dark here.
Makes sense.
Just because I'm calculating whether or not a bookend is complete based on if it's got, like, it has questionnaires that don't have an answer group associated to it. That's about it. So if there is no answer group associated to it, I assume it's not complete.
Makes sense. Just pulling mine up right now.
Oh, look at that! It loaded in the my bookend, but it didn't load in any of or loaded in my response. Didn't load any bookends because I don't have.
Did you add the web URL for Bookends? Are you using that, or are you still using the local host?
Oh, I haven't added the web URL. That's right. I can add a web URL now. Let's do this. Is it possible to have like a test or like a dev and a prod version of this stuff?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So where I host it, it's more of a. I have to set up. I have to set it up that way, which is like 2 projects. There's another. I'm wondering if there's an easier way using something else that has like the 3 or 4 environments like Netlify has. But Heroku, is that where I set it up? I think I set it up. Let me check.
You set it up in Heroku.
Okay. Let me check what I can do there. I don't know about this service, but I understand what you want.
I mean, if we're gonna do this, let's do it right. Yeah.
Ay. What is that all about? Doing it right?
Yeah.
Or is... I'm a developer. What are you talking about? I've never read "Do It Right" in any manual ever. Does not compute.
Oh,
Yeah, it has like a staging prod setup, but subdirect. Oh god, it's can I use the subdirectory? Can I do this?
On Discord, download the update. I need the URL. Discord keeps crashing. That's probably not a good thing. Let's see. Where's that? All my robo faces.
I made like 30 of them, and I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like your face is not like it's either too robot to begin with, or it's not robot friendly.
The AI is like, this guy's already a robot. Why are we trying to turn him into one? Okay, I found the URL though. Bookend API 63714F2BBB3F. Roku app. All right, Grammarly, I'm gonna have you turn off because
Yeah,
you here.
it gets me. I always have to disable that stuff.
In the normal VS Code, it doesn't pop up in here. At least this is the first time I've had it pop up in something similar to this. All right, let's see if that fixed it.
Well, we can do it on here. Why does it have to be so hard, though? Create a pipeline. Bookend.
Whoa, is that me?
Sounds like it.
Every time I interact with it, it's gonna beep at me now. What? What? That's horrendous. I'm sorry. Every time I throw, I want to know what's going on. Okay. Great. All right. So it's fixed now because there isn't an error in the file. What the heck? What? That was really weird. That was really, really weird. Okay. All right, so I'm getting this error, or not, maybe not error. I'm getting this detail not found response from the server URL that you sent me. Oh, maybe I need to get rid of this slash here.
Yeah, take the slash off.
Okay, dude. That's just an annoying feature. Alright. Who decided to make it beep every time you typed a character if there was a...
That is some evil person.
Yeah. Alright, we got it. Let's go. We can run this on on a mobile app now.
Yep.
Mobile app. Dude. That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Well, before I dive into that, though, I do want to add this ability to continue / finish. Okay. Can I turn off the sounds? Settings. I don't know how to turn off the sounds. Okay. I'll look it up later. All right. Okay, so pages, home, again, page. Response button widget. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, we're gonna fix it. All those sounds are unacceptable. Uh, that's pretty sure. Turn off all sounds. I don't know who decided to put them in here. All right, I think I turned off the sound. There's a little checkbox and it's been unchecked. All right. Nope.
Was it? Not today, suckers.
Why does it play all these sounds? Off. I Enable audio cue and a screen reader's attached. I guess off. Off. Everything turn off. I can imagine this being really useful for someone who can't see, maybe. Okay, how about that? Did that work?
Maybe.
Yes, we're good to go. What did you call the different timestamps? Were they just called, like, in all these different things? Were they just called timestamps?
Well, let me look. I don't think so. I think I gave them a specific name.
Okay.
Let's look at what those are. Created underscore at, updated underscore at.
Okay. And is that in everything?
Yeah, when we create more records, I'll purge the old ones. No, I left some of them in there so that you had data to look at.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're parsing it, definitely account for that. Those values may not show up.
Okay.
That's how I roll. Throw caution to the wind and just type away. So I got my on a different note while I've almost got this pipeline done, but I don't know if I shared with you, but I've got my auctions now, my fixed sale with QuickSign working. and it's pretty slick, actually, and not fun. The data format's so different, and it took me a bit to catch that it was missing like the tiniest little data I had to manipulate to send it and get a valid structure, and it's pretty cool. But anyways, it opened my mind.
NG.
Yeah,
Talking about?
yeah, yes, and it opened my mind to something else that I was waiting for my smart wallet. Why I didn't want to deploy it, because I have an insanely complex def pact in there, for good reason. Right, I need that automated rollback, and now I can do it. And so I was like super pumped, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I've resurrected some of my code that I was working on that actually works in the browser now. Doesn't require all backend manipulation and a bunch of functions. It can be clean, and so I got standard auctions, just your run-of-the-mill auction. Dutch auctions, so it decreases over time. So if it starts at 100, and your end date, it can go down to whatever you want. So like 10, for example. Royalties work as expected. There's a couple other things in there with marketplaces that you can set fees, like a fee structure. And there's a token structure that says this is the most you can charge. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of like enforce, if you don't want somebody to sell, if you don't want a marketplace to upcharge you too much, you can put that fee down really low, or no fee at all, and then the marketplace can't sell it, right? Like you got to do no fee. So like, let's say you don't want a marketplace to sell your tokens, don't let a marketplace sell them, you know? You probably could wrap the command and do it, take ownership for a second and still do it, but it's just interesting. It's interesting, and then fixed sale, it just works, you know? So I got everything I need for a functioning marketplace now, all coded, all working. I'll probably, after this, I'll probably do a video on it and just show people like an extended, because I did like a minute tease of it, but I might just sit down and explain the components and how they work, and I'm really excited. It works really well. It's easy for me to work with, maybe because I just have a lot of experience now on Marmalade in general, but
Also because it seemed like you solved all the really stupid problems that were happening, that were still existing, all the errors as well. I mean, I trust Pascal to get the job done.
oh yeah. Him and I have been beating it up pretty significantly the last couple days, and putting a front end to this. Hey, if you don't put a front end to this code, I mean, you can assume things are going to work. But I mean, you're talking some serious complex operations. If you don't see how that's going to work, and you don't test it, you only test impact. Like, maybe the world's best developer can, but like, I can kind of see it visually as I'm building it, but until you actually get the functionality and you're like, oh, this is a continuation now, how are we going to handle this? Oh, we got to have another prompt. No, let's wrap that all up into a nice clean function so they only have to sign it once, you know? And so it's like, yeah, you get into some of those multi policy configurations, and you got to do multiple steps. You know, it makes a difference. Having that vision and then actually testing it, they're two different things. I think the testing the front end, I don't know of anybody else who's built a front end for Marmalade V2. Most people haven't really built a front end for V1 because it's clunky. You know, it's other than minting.
Yeah, everyone who tried ended up getting wrecked.
So I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't think there's anything I can't do in Pact or interacting with it at this point. I've got some math formulas I need to look at, but that's about the extent of the complexity I want to deal with, and that's just for a game that I'm helping on. So as soon as we have stable coins, it should be fun.
Oh yeah. Stable coins will definitely be nice.
Yep. Locked liquidity gaming, man. I don't know what you call it, but it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be fun. Like, I don't like the chain or not, is it's fun to have fun things to play around with.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be so nice to have some actual, some actual. I mean, stable coins is something that you desperately need on any chain
Hmm.
if you really want it to grow. Like,
Yep.
really, it's a necessity. And the fact that they haven't had it for so long, they tried, and then Nigo got wrecked.
Yeah, I could say that again.
Would just be. I mean, hopefully, whoever's building it out now is actually knowledgeable of the hack. Because from what I understand, I didn't look at the code myself, but LIGO got destroyed because of how much gas they were using in their smart
Uh-huh.
contract, just to do lookups, just to run a simple like transfer, things like this.
Yep.
I think Pascal told me that their events costed, like, every single one of their events was like 40,000 to 50,000 gas.
If you do a select or a where or
Yeah,
any,
because they were using select and
yep,
where.
select is 40,000 just to start. It's
Yep.
always at least 40,000, and then it goes up from there. And as your data grows, I mean, I'm just saying, it takes more time and costs more to look up things.
And I mean, that's by design, right? You want it. You don't want to run that on chain, and so I understand why they said it's going to cost a lot of gas. If you want to do this, it's going to blow your bank up. So design the smart contract right, and you won't be hit with these massive fees. It makes complete sense.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna head over to my README. I'm gonna copy
I had to run all that. Yeah.
puts.
At least you don't have to spin up the environment.
Yeah, that's super nice, honestly. And being able to test it on my phone. If I can get this working, I can throw it on my phone.
Yep.
So right now I'm just adding dates. The created at, updated at. You said that they had an underscore. Do any of the other JSON values in the database have an underscore, or are they all camel case?
They are all camel case. I don't think I had any variables that are 2. Oh no, relies on. Yeah, it relies on. Okay. Description. Yeah, relies on is. And the reason it's like that is because that's the default. So I can just leverage Mongo to handle it for us. So I didn't really have any control over what they would call it. It's just like a feature you turn on. So let me see, in Python. Oh no. Why did I do that? I usually never do that.
See, so I can. I have a way to change it so that my JSON serializer like converts anything that's in snake case to camel case for me, because I prefer camel case in Flutter.
Do you want me
But
to just update it?
if everything else is in camel case, I'd say just update it so that it's also in camel case. Keep our data clean.
Yeah.
You said it was created at and updated at?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to
Right.
change it right now, though, and it's going to push an update, which is going to be switching it to... Although the data that's in there right now, if you give me like 2 minutes, I can fix this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I can just go in the database and fix it too, instead of having to redo all this. All right, so updated that. I know why I did it. Because it just pre-populated for me. Because I read how to do it, and it's like, oh, just throw this in there, and it'll take care of it for you. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, it's a little different in Java, but all right. So time again. Created it. Bookends. We're going to update. Why did I call it camel case? I never remember. Somebody explained it to me once on a tutorial, and
Because
I just didn't care.
a camel, like the humps on the camel's back, every first letter is a hump.
Mm,
Camel case.
obviously.
Then you got snake case.
Yeah, snake case. Yep.
Which is it's all on the ground. Everything's down below. Then you have screaming snake case,
I don't even know what the heck that is.
or it's all
I probably seen it, but yeah.
capitals. Yeah, I mean generally constants are screaming snake case.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just like the names people come up with for things. They're fun.
People are fun. That. Oh boy, I really made a mess of this. It's an easy fix, but I should have just built a query. But I think by the time I was done figuring out what that query would be, there's not enough records to care. All right, so I'm just gonna validate that I didn't mistype anything. I can do that. Okay, you should be good. Created that, updated that. Yep. And new code would have got pushed out automatically, so we should have the newest build deployed at 240. Oh, it's so good. So good. So the app I have, actually, what we'll do, I think, is we'll leave what we have right now, so it will auto get a deployment into our staging environment, and then when we're done, we can promote that to production. Does that work for you? Or do you want like two? We probably want two separate environments too. I think both of these things should happen.
I think if we can have as many environments as we wish, that's ideal.
Yeah.
If we can't achieve that, I would say a minimum of 3.
All right.
You got a dev, you got a staging, you got prod.
Yep.
So dev is where you're making all your changes. You got staging, and that's where you're testing long-term changes to make sure that they don't break anything. And you got prod, which is obviously wherever it's sitting at. right, let's see if this works. Let's see what we see, actually. We'll check operator using mode. All the colors in this IDE are really weird. I'll change them back to VS Code colors. Right, let's see. So I'm redesigning the response detail page right now so that it will actually show all of your previous responses along with the one that you are currently responding to.
Okay.
Just so that it's like it functions as both. I can see my previous responses and the new thing I'm typing in. Previous response, previous questionnaires that you filled out will just be collapsed. You can uncollapse them.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Somebody had hammered me because one of my sites is set up for non-mobile because it's not meant for mobile. Like the questions you get when it works, like it's going to error on you because mobile doesn't handle images as well as desktop.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
just one guy.
yeah, I don't have, like, I've looked at other apps that do the same, like the image generators. There's not a lot of them that use mobile because there's no hook into the mobile browser. And so you're like, it looks terrible. Like, it's a big process, right? It's not easy to just plug and play. And I'm sure there's somebody who's built like a good mobile one, but I'm just like, man, brutal. Like, absolutely brutal. Yeah, it's people for you.
Yeah, Anurag said, "Hey bros, give us some insiders on Cadena if you know something." So, I know absolutely nothing, dude. I haven't been in Cadena for a while. I can still program and pack, but I know absolutely nothing. And I'm pretty sure anyone who does know something is likely under a non-disclosure agreement.
That's very likely.
Yeah. Good luck. Do your own research. Do your own diligence. Dior.
That's funny. It's not a non-answer, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
I know that sound. Like, I hope it's not me.
Oh,
Better you
man.
than me.
Yeah, she's actually really happy right now. So life is way better when my child is happy.
Life is always better when they're happy. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. You're good, Emmy. Dang, we've already been going for 50 minutes. Man,
Isn't
I have
that
not felt
crazy?
programming today. Oh, man.
Time flies when you're programming fun.
I'm trying to learn this new editor, this new IDE cursor, have it build my widget right now. And it's kind of doing an okay job.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's what you want, right?
yeah, I'll accept that. Expansion panel list. That's a new one.
I decided I'm gonna release my I don't know if I told you this. I'm gonna release my products like a Neanderthal, and just one day I'm gonna just start announcing, just there you go use this now. No hype, no nothing. Just here's the product. Go use it. Have fun. I find the thought of that more fun than trying to hype something for like 3 months while I'm working on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of like, I mean, OpenAI. I don't, maybe they hyped things up, but I feel like they were just like, hey, we got this new cool thing called Chat GPT.
Yep. Yeah. All of a
You
sudden.
wanna... So, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and our repo is public as well, so anybody can go follow along.
Yeah, I haven't touched my code in a while. Someone purchased my Pact course earlier this week, though. I'm surprised, honestly. I thought didn't Cadena come out with their own like university?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I like to laugh.
I don't know if it's officially out yet. Yeah, I don't know. Ah, I hurt. I hurt so bad.
You hurt so bad.
It's like I have a notification for when something mints and the image isn't available. And you wouldn't be surprised, but you should be surprised at how many NFTs get launched that don't have images attached. And they use their front end to attach the image because they didn't know how to format or understand what an NFT was. And so I have to go back and fix it. And I just got like stream spammed with a collection that somebody did. And I'm like, I'm not indexing this stuff anymore. I'm done. Like, I'm not helping. Like, I'm not going to keep doing all this extra work for people because they want to go launch willy-nilly and copy somebody's code and have no idea what it's doing. And then whine when their NFTs don't show up on my free tool. Like, I don't care. Like, you tell me why it's not showing up. You got the tool that displays it. I'm like, it's free. It's a test for people to see what the data structure looks like. It's a visual tool of my API. That's it. It's not meant for people. I get frustrated. I get annoyed with that kind of stuff pretty bad. Maybe I shouldn't care, but I do.
Don't let them steal your time. I'd just be stupid.
Yeah. So like, it's just one of those things, you know. Yeah. People just are the worst. They really, really are. And then you got people who are writing their images on chain, and I'm like, do you guys not like? I'll stop running my node. Like, if everybody stops running their nodes, you're gonna keep doing that? I mean, just sucking up space left and right, doing stuff like that. Like, oh, but Bitcoin's doing it, and I'm like, yeah, they basically are coding around it so that it's difficult, you know. And it's like, just because they're doing it doesn't, like, it's a different appeal. They don't have smart contracts, so it's cool. It's different. Ordinals are cool, but ordinals on Ethereum is stupid because we have smart contracts. Like, it's a cool little thing. Like, some of the projects it's cool for, but like to make a new, like a regular NFT project because you want it to all be on chain, it's like, we're getting rid of all that. Like, stop.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin has been getting obliterated, if I remember correctly.
Uh-huh.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it causes high gas fees. I gotta figure out an alternative to that Twitch studio now. Now that it's gone.
Officially destroyed.
Officially destroyed. made a bit of progress. I was just reading. It's I'm just used to it doing it all for me. So I don't know why. Heroku's got it all. You just gotta set it all up. It's stupid. Like everywhere else I use, they just like, blah, here's all the environments you need. Go forth and conquer. And they're like, oh, you gotta go build it all yourself, you see. And the documentation's not the greatest, you see. And Amir keeps using it, you see. But so I can only complain so much. But I'll keep chipping away at this. And yeah, we got our own app staging. It's almost there, so I gotta jump off in a minute, but I'm thinking I'll be around on Thursday too. I might have something come up. We'll see if I gotta go pick one of the kiddos up in the afternoon, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I got the answer groups to pop up here. The answers aren't necessarily being saved, so that's something I need to look into. But technically, well, let's try something else. Let's see. Create a new response for this guy. Just bring him straight here. Alright, so those are all technically saved, right? If I go back, I think I need to. Alright, so it pops up. It tells me it's already true. It's already completed. But there is a save button now. So I'm not sure why it's telling me, yeah, both of these, the data isn't being saved. Okay, so that's what I need to work on. Actually, save the data. Or determine why data isn't being saved.
Is that in your app, or is that hitting the API endpoint?
It's not hitting the API endpoint.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get local saving and loading working first. Then I'll do backups to web. But yeah, so this should all be, this is all just local.
Fun times. Fun times. Well, I'm gonna jump off, but as always, it's a pleasure and appreciate anybody hanging out with us. Yeah, it's always a fun time.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you so much, Amir. I really appreciate you. This, as always, it's fun to laugh with you.
Yeah. We got lots to joke about these days, so no shortage of jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did the blind guy say to that? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm glad you and Pascal are making progress. You know.
Oh yeah.
You're driving things forward, making crap happen. I know you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the videos. It's looking fresh. It's clean.
Yeah.
Looking good, man. You're doing great. You're doing awesome stuff.
Appreciate it.
Keep it up.
We're gonna have a cool front end soon too. That's gonna be exciting. So, and I don't even have to do it. I just have to help with the functions. So
yeah,
excited.
So, I mean, I know you said that you can tie your stuff into AI, or it's not into AI. I want to say you can tie your stuff into any chain.
Yeah.
And Radix Babylon, so smart contracts, launch this month in, I think it's a week, like next week. So the moment there are smart contracts, I think a lot of people would love to use your tool to just make NFTs willy-nilly.
I think, like, look, I have the tool for Marmalade V2. It took me an afternoon to port it to a new, right?
Yeah.
My front end doesn't care. Like it took me 3 days total to rework everything to the point where I have working auctions, working sales, working minting. I mean, you can't do that in 3 days. Like if you don't like if you don't build it right, you can't do something like that rapidly, right? In the back end aside, I had to do all that too, right? The back end aside, it's just the point of I spent all this extra time. I had all this, and thankfully, I had all this extra time, so I took like my V3 API and really just made it like super portable. And so I know I could hook up Ethereum NFTs right now and do that. Like because I already know how to do them too. So that's kind of cheating, and it's very simple to work with. But like, I don't want to work with them. It's nothing against Ethereum. It's just that's not my goal here. And smaller chains make more sense for me. Bigger chains have companies that are 1,000 people, but like, well, I'm not going to even try. Like, why would I compete with them when there's a niche market that needs tools like this? And so, yeah, I'd be more than happy to port something over and get it working. And I mean, I got a lot on my plate, but I still like building that stuff. So it's like, what do you do? Like, I haven't looked at the Radix code enough to actually figure out how a marketplace or like even just a minter will work on there. But generally speaking, most formats that I've seen, it's not that bad. So just different code.
Radix is the simplest because everything is represented on chain. You don't really have any smart contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You just say, hey, just create this resource, and this resource represents 100 NFTs. Here's the metadata. Boom. Right. You're done. It's really, really straightforward for that reason. And so all the components do is they take in resources, whether fungible or non-fungible, right? And you can determine what kind of resource you accept in the component, and then it just does something to it. Transfers it from one user to another, or like executes that transfer automatically, or like runs an auction, for example, would be a component. But it just accepts a resource, and it doesn't care about the standard because the standard is Radix. They've designed and baked fungibles and non-fungibles and all of their varieties into the layer one, a little bit like Cardano and Algorand. So you don't have to worry about smart contracts when you're trying to mint things in general.
You just mint them.
Yeah, you just mint it. You say, hey, layer one, make me these NFTs. Here's the metadata. And it does it. So it's super nice. You might need to have a component in there that like governs their usage or something like that, or if you want to create some like additional functionality around the NFTs. But my understanding, you don't care about that. You're just like, I have an AI generated image. Let's turn it into an NFT, boy. Let's go.
Yep.
Yep. No special utility, nothing like that at all. It's just a thing.
Yep.
And on Radix, that's insanely easy. Yeah.
Well, fine. Maybe, just maybe, I'll spend a few minutes and take a look at that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know anybody who's over there programming on it, but maybe I'll ask somebody I know how that might work. So I'm in their Discord. I don't converse in there, I don't think. So, but all right. Well, I appreciate it as always, and hope you have a nice rest of the day.
Have an awesome Tuesday. I'll see you later, man. See you on Thursday.
See ya. Alrighty.